So it looks like we've imported our Benchy into our 3D environment. The next thing we can do is basically print it, but before we do that, let me cover a few important facts. First, when you import a file, for some reason, Cura likes to rename it with SSP. Personally, I like to get rid of that. Next, you can leave this at draft, but there are a few things I want to cover real quick. You don't need supports for the Benchy. I'll cover that in a following video, how supports actually work. But we want to take a look at the build adhesion plate. By default, it's set at skirt, and for most things, that's all you'll need. That or brim. Brim is good for adding additional adhesion and making sure nothing tilts over if it's not as rigid as having a flat base, or maybe multiple tubes come up just like the stack here that then connect to a piece that hover. A brim would be excellent. But a raft, I am going to actually oppose the concept of a raft. They work, but they were the original design and that's all you had, but they are a pain to pull off once you're done printing, because it's like having a whole flat block glued to the bottom of your piece, and the only way to do that is with a scalpel blade and to etch it off and cut it off, and sometimes it rips it apart. So be wary of using a raft. Skirts and brims are fine. So if we go ahead now, we should be good, and we click slice, and then either click preview here or up here, either one works. You'll see there is this bottom layer here in blue, which is designed simply so that the first layer, this is the skirt, the first 1 to 2 layers stays in place. And once that's set, you're good to go. Over on the right here, it's showing us that we're going to print a total of 239 layers. Down here it says it's going to take us an hour and 12 minutes to print, and that it's going to use 10 grams of filament. The hour and 12 minutes is an estimation. That's no guarantee. It actually might go faster or slower. The default print speed for the Sovol SV06 Plus prints at 150 millimeters per second. The SV07 Plus and also the Bamboo reach upwards to 500 millimeters per second. So yes, there are better options out there, but this is still a good option to work with. So let's go ahead and let's slide this up and down, and what you can see is it's going to show us each and every layer as the printer prints. So this is a perfect design right here, or example. It's going to print the base. It's going to fill it in, and then it's going to create this gyroid. I didn't show you this, and I will show you this in another video, how you can change the infill. So the infill is the, obviously, everything within it, and you don't need a lot. This is only using, I believe, 10 or 15% infill. The rigidity is actually defined by the outer walls. So we have 2 outer walls with a light infill, and it will still be a very rigid 3D print. Now, all you have to do is click Save to Disk. For this example, we're going to do it for the SD card file format, but there are ways to do it so that it is either USB connected from the computer, which I actually recommend against, because if the computer goes down, then your print will fail. The better option is to use a wireless system like an Octoprint with a Raspberry Pi microcomputer and set up a wireless environment to your printer if it doesn't already have wireless configuration set into it. So the 2 best options are the SD card or a wireless option. For this, we're going to do SD card, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to save this. We're going to open the folder, and then it creates a Gcode file. And a Gcode file is a standard programming language format that is designed for 3D printers and CNC machines. So if we drag this down into like a program like VS Code, we can actually see what it looks like when it outputs it. So it's going to tell us, or it's going to tell the machine how to respond when it first starts up, how to move the head around, how to heat the bed, what's going on with it, where to place the home position, and then it's going to give it positions where it should actually put out the filament, how to heat it, and everything inside and out. And that's the basics of setting up a 3D print and sending it to the printer. You just have to wait for it to finish.